My name is Martha Benavides, and I work at UC Davis Medical Center as a nurse practitioner on the inpatient glycemic team. I've been there for about 3.5 years, but with the system, I've been there about 18 years. So my immigration story starts with my mom has told me that my father was crossing the border, riding the trains, of course, illegally when he was a younger man. They met, got married, and eventually he was like, "You need to come with me, it's time." And so she had me already at that point. I was about 9 months old. And I know she talked about stories about her sisters having gone to Southern California somewhere. I can't remember the place at the moment. She trusted my dad enough to come cross the border with him. He paid two coyotes to pass my mom in a car as the girlfriend or wife of somebody, and then I was in the second car behind them at 9 months old. And we lived in Long Beach for a while till I was about in the first grade. So even at that time they had Spanish English immersion, so I learned to read and write in Spanish first, and then that was a little bit tricky once we moved to the Central Valley, where I had to kind of start over because of the language, and everything was just all English. And we ended up in the Central Valley because my grandfather lived there. And I remember even as a young child, we used to go to El Parque de los Patos. And so that's where he used to live, in a little town called Gastine. And I do remember my mom, that's one of the things she did tell me growing up, that was one of the reasons she wanted us here in the States, because of the educational opportunities. Not specifically like, oh, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, she just wanted us to have a profession. I thought I was going to be going to medical school, and then eventually I ended up deciding to go into nursing. I ended up volunteering at Davis Community Clinic and met other people in the same situation as me, having the same vision, going into the health field, giving back to the community, helping, and just having a career out of it. So Clínica Tepati. And so there were people who were graduating, and they were getting jobs as medical assistants, phlebotomy, working with children, giving immunizations. And it was quite a few of us who went to this clinic, and I heard about it, and I was volunteering there as a translator. Eventually, it was just, some of the students there already, we felt comfortable with each other. We were learning and supporting each other. And we had other students who were pre-med, wanted a year or two off, and they were just, building up their resume, or needed a year or two just from school before they made the commitment to go into medical school. I remember PA school, nurse practitioner school. I think we even had some dental students helping with a dental clinic, I remember. And so part of my legacy right now is to help my nieces and nephews, our next generation, to be supportive in some way to them. Because, I really had nobody to go to. My mom didn't know anything about navigating college and loans. I figured it all out myself. So I feel like I'm a resource to my nieces and nephews. At the moment, I am on a team where we are focused on diabetes care. We know that's a chronic condition. I have a super passion for it because I have type 2 diabetes. My mom has it. My grandmother had complications from it. She went blind. It's in the family. And even in the primary care setting, a lot of the work that I did with my patients, talking to them, the TLC, that extra time that I had as a nurse practitioner to spend with them and talk to them and figure out what strategies were going to work for them to get their numbers in good control for their sugars, is what really makes the difference. So it's listening to them and making that time, but also meeting them where they're at. So I've gotten really good at, explaining to them, these are the numbers, but what do they mean to you? And so trying to make that connection for them to try and get that motivation, because we do have patients that keep coming back, and those are the most challenging ones. I would say go out, meet people, learn, keep your mind open, absorb everything. I think one of the things I do want to tell younger people is that if there's some emotional things happening, to seek help sooner than later, right? I think therapy is really important. I mean, I wish more of our patients could afford it. I wish, we have patients with diabetes with chronic pain, and We know that there's psychologists that can help with chronic pain for these patients, but they can't afford it or they don't have the accessibility to it. But if you're young and you're in school, sometimes the schools will have some of those therapists or counselors available. Seek out that help. I think that would be one of the biggest ones, the mental health aspect.